Spectrum fans always had it good with Ultimate Play the Game's Jetpack, one of the first standout titles for the rubber-keyed 8-bit, and one that even today is still fondly loved amongst the Spectrum community. Though it got ported across to other machines, the humble C64 wasn't one of them. And while there were attempts to bring that formula across, it really wasn't until Rocket Smash, released as part of the 2013 RGCD Cart Compo, that it was given justice. And that brings us nicely to Rocket Smash EX, the 2015 enhanced retail release published on cartridge by RGCD, with disc and tape versions also published through Cytronic Software. So, you've got to ask yourself, what does that retail release offer? Firstly, it's really about the presentation. They've added a number of speech clips that are played on starting level, as well as when you die and at the game over. Next up, you can play the game as in the cartridge release, just level after level in a loop, but you can also put into story mode. Story mode adds an introduction to each level with a little cutscene. Now, gameplay-wise, if you know Jetpack, you're right at home. Each level is made up of 4 stages. At first, you'll need to reassemble the rocket by collecting the pieces that are located on screen, dropping them over the engine. With that taken care of, now it's time to go refuel it. You do that by collecting the fuel crates, dropping them over the rocket, and they'll fall into place. As the rocket fills up, you'll see the colour filling up, and once it's filled up, you'll hear a ditty, it'll start flashing, and it's time to hop on board, fly off to the next stage. Along with the fuel crates, there's also trinkets that drop in the sky. Collecting these will give you bonus points. The one difference from Jetpack is the addition of a timer in the form of your oxygen supply. Collecting oxygen tanks will help extend this, and when you complete a stage, your remaining oxygen translates to bonus points. Now, any arcade game is going to have a threat, and your main threat here comes from the enemies that float about. Each stage has a different form of enemy, and they have a different sort of pattern, and basically colliding with them will cost you one of your lives. Though, if you do happen to complete all 4 stages in a level, you'll be given an additional life as a reward. Like with Jetpack, you have a very powerful laser as your primary weapon. This can cut through them like hot knife through butter with the tap of the fire button. The controls? They're really responsive. When you're playing a game like this, that is crucial to have that great response there. You use left and right to move, up to fire your jetpack and fly up the screen, and fire to blast. They're sensible, and they work great. The one omission that's here that is in Jetpack is the ability to hover. I never actually used that in Jetpack, and truth be told, I think that's added in the original Spectrum game to compensate for keyboard controls on the Specky. Here, with really responsive joystick controls, I don't think you really have to worry about it. Sound-wise, there's a nice assortment of tunes, from the title screen theme to a mix of tunes played in game, randomly switching as you move through the levels, and one played on the high score sequence. This is one of those rare C64 games where the music and sound coexist, although the sound effects are really just made up of explosions, fire blasts, and digs for collecting items. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, there's the speech, though that may or may not be to your taste as it sounds a little robotic, not as dynamic as in some other titles. Wrapping up, Rocket Smash to me is an essential play if you're a C64 fan. It's well put together, it plays really well, the graphics and audio are great, and all of that just makes this a wonderful package. There are some minor niggles. For me, the big one is just the lack of high score saving. But they're not enough to detract from it. Go and grab it, I will have links below where you can do that, and go and enjoy some frantic blasting action, whether that's on your C64 or on your emulator of choice. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this review. It's a little different from how I normally do things, but I hope you enjoyed it all the same. If you did, please consider giving this video a thumbs up or leaving a comment. These always help in just getting more people to check the videos out as they come up in searches and things like that. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time.